Hello there. Thank you for joining me with my ninth edition on how New Zealand is progressing as we move forward from COVID-19 and what's the impact on our recovery. Now, for those of you who do not know me, I'm Ranson, and I'm based in the Wellington region, which is the capital of New Zealand, and we operate right throughout New Zealand with a global outreach. I'm a licensed immigration advisor, specialising in all types of New Zealand immigration, apart from refugee law. I have owned my own business for 29 years, chairman of the largest immigration industry association, and was the instigator for orchestrating combining the 4 immigration association groups of lawyers and advisors throughout New Zealand. As a result of COVID-19, it was so important to bring together the whole industry for the benefit of the migrants in New Zealand, offshore, along with the New Zealand employers. Now, I'm meeting with my colleagues regularly, with immigration officials and the government. So meetings are happening every week, and it's to assist in developing the pathway forward. And I'm really concerned for our country doing the right thing in our recovery from COVID-19, but having the right people with the skills and the New Zealand employers being able to meet their full potential development. We cannot have this not happen. I'm really getting frustrated with the decisions being made and the slowness in having things happen in the immigration space. Yes, things are happening, but now, please understand that it's not Immigration New Zealand who is making the decisions about our border. We in New Zealand really understand the issues you are faced with, and so does Immigration New Zealand. But there was not a pathway established in New Zealand for coming out of the COVID-19, and we are in unprecedented times. So in establishing the way forward, there are 3 major parts, and the government has the final say. Now let me explain how our border works and the decisions. Immigration New Zealand implement policy decisions. Then we have the government body known as MB, which is the Ministry of Business, Innovation and Employment, which is totally separate to Immigration New Zealand. And MB makes up the policy for sign-off by the Minister of Immigration, which go before the ministers which are forming in our cabinet. Now, the decisions about our borders are with the government. People only come in with exceptions once they're approved by our government. So what's the future? Now, we've been asking this for you, and especially you folk offshore. New Zealand and the world has never dealt with a situation like this before. The officials have asked that I convey to you that you are not at the bottom of the priority list, and they are trying to work through this. And we're beginning to see some actual movement. Now, we're at level 1 with no COVID-19 cases. The people of New Zealand, Team New Zealand, have worked very hard to achieve this. So protecting the point of entry for the virus through our borders is essential. So quarantine on arrival when you gain entry is compulsory for 14 days. And at this stage, we only have 3,000 places for quarantine. And we've been working hard to have this number of spaces extended. Now, announcements this week show that partners and dependents of New Zealand citizens and residents who are ordinary resident in New Zealand or hold a visa on the basis of their relationship can travel to New Zealand without their New Zealand citizen or resident family member and be granted entry. Now, that's a good move forward. Long overdue, but it's come about. So you can appreciate the care and attention that's actually being given to this, even though you have been suffering so hard. Now, when it comes to exceptions to the border closure, this is another area I've been really working hard at for the New Zealand employers and the migrants who have been offered positions. I was really thrilled at the beginning of this week to finally learn from officials that a pathway had finally been established through the lead agency approach. But wait. Yesterday, I found out that the official comment made was not finalised, and yet another procedure is being worked on. And we appear to be back on the merry-go-round. But I'm sure we're going to be hearing something more soon. But I really feel that New Zealand employers are being given the runaround. And when you need these highly skilled people for your businesses and also achieve the government objective for upskilling New Zealanders, they've got to get this right, and it has to come quickly. Now, we hear further today that it was yesterday, the news came through that the America's Cup teams will be coming into New Zealand. They're bringing their families and a nanny, and they're coming for a period of 10 months. Things don't quite make sense. Whilst the country needs the money this venture will bring, what about New Zealand businesses that are here to stay, not just for 10 months? New maritime exceptions have been introduced where there is a compelling reason for a vessel to travel to New Zealand. However, this will not apply to cruise ships or people travelling for leisure. Diplomats will be allowed in if you're taking up new job posts in New Zealand. Now, as I mentioned to you before, for New Zealand to economically recover, we're going to need good skilled people. So if you are interested in this country, start doing your homework now and see if there is a possibility in the future for coming here. You need to talk to trustworthy people, an advisor. Now, investors, we need you. We need you to rebuild New Zealand. So be part of this interesting, challenging country, and you will be rewarded. Now, unlike other countries, licensed immigration advisors are appointed by the New Zealand government and have to meet a qualifying Immigration New Zealand standard to gain a license to be able to provide immigration advice and also to represent you. Lawyers in this country do not have to meet this requirement and are not specifically trained in immigration. This is a key point of difference between licensed immigration advisors and lawyers. So do your homework with whom you wish to deal with. This is a great country. We want to protect our borders, but we need you. We at Woburn International are a great team of knowledgeable, skilled people with high values. So talk to us about what you would like to achieve with your relocation to New Zealand, and we'll tell you what is possible. So until next week, keep safe and healthy, and thank you for listening. Bye for now.